say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? There we go.
Gary Smith, everybody.
Mr. John Powers, come up here, please. We have a little special award. Also, what I'd like to do is there a pretty little girl that'd like to be our trophy girl tonight? Our trophy presentation, we need help. They won't let me show my legs in public anymore. I need a trophy girl.
Come on, there's got to be a pretty little girl. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You can be my trophy
All right, ladies and gentlemen, opening ceremonies has concluded. We've got race cars coming up next here from Tucson Speedway, featuring our first main event, which will be the Semi-Pro Young Lions feature. We'll be back on the other side, and we will go racing.
Now let's turn it over to Craig. Craig's going to take care of you. John, Mr. John Power, are you ready, buddy? Please indulge us here for a minute. We got a super fan that we appreciate. He's here on every race when he can. He even comes up to me sometimes and says, I'm sorry I wasn't at the last race because he was sick. Well, last race we did a month ago, he asked me to pray for him because he was going through surgery. So he came up to me yesterday and said his surgery went well. So here's our good friend, Thomas. What we did is we got a T-shirt from Tucson Speedway and we took it out throughout the whole track, through the pits, and had every driver sign it for him because he is special to us. Thomas going home with a special souvenir from the Chili Willy 150 weekend. I want to thank them for being out to the track each and every race weekend. Always appreciate seeing them down there near turn 1. We always appreciate our dedicated fans at Tucson Speedway. But we'll be rolling them out now. The Semi-Pro and Young Lion legends getting ready for their 40-lap national qualifier. All right, folks, I would like for you to make some noise for these talented drivers. We're going to go racing, exactly. So give it up for all these talented race car drivers coming out of the Legend Series.
Welcome back, Tucson Speedway. Legend cars in the staging lanes and beginning to make their way out here onto the racetrack. You see them off in the distance at the staging lanes. Final preparation from the crews to the drivers. Drivers start finishing buckling in, strapping the race cars onto their backs. And we will get to racing for their Semi-Pro Young Lion main event. 40 laps. That's going to be a long distance. Sure, it's 10 extra laps compared to what they were running here this weekend. That's 10 more laps of making a mistake or making a move that can pay off to victory here at Tucson Speedway. Tough track to pass that we've seen all weekend. You can see the crews starting to make their way onto the track, maybe for any last-minute adjustments, but also spotters making their way to the spotter stand, which is located directly below our camera spot here on the top of Tucson Speedway. And it looks like we're going to bring these cars onto the front straightaway and do a little driver's intro to kick off our day number 3 of Tucson Speedway action. So we're going to park these cars all up and down the front straightaway. Get to wave to these drivers. A nice little addition. This is a class that typically rolls hot and will do their pace laps, but we're going to park them all along the front straightaway for the race fans to see these drivers up close and personal before they go racing for their main event. So we're going to have 40 laps to determine a winner here at Tucson Speedway. The outside groove is the preferred groove. It's hard to pass. You've been hearing that, and you're going to see that here today for these legend cars. Not so much for the super late models. They got more horsepower to get through these corners and make a move. But very line sensitive for these legend cars, as they'll be slicing and dicing through. You go to the inside. If you make the move stick, you will be rewarded with a pass, more than likely. If you don't make it stick, well, you're going to be stuck on the inside. Kind of a little bit opposite of what you hear when NASCAR goes to Martinsville and you don't want to be stuck on the outside because you will just keep falling backwards. Well, it's opposite. If you're on the inside, you're more liable to lose 2 or 3 spots as we go.
We'll also be doing best appearing car for each of our classes today amongst the semi-pro, Young Lion, Masters, Pros.
So bringing these cars onto the racetrack,
So that will be announced.
and I'll be curious if we're going to do like a driver intro with a microphone, or we're going to do the flag and go approach. Sometimes they like to do the quick little interview to shout out to their sponsors. I'm Tommy Mason alongside Jeffrey Best as we get ready to go racing. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I am good. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. What a beautiful day in Tucson.
I feel like we've been saying this all week. It is another beautiful day in Tucson. This time I'm really going to have to commit to I think I'm going to have to commit to just the T-shirt today because it's kind of warm.
It is.
Yeah.
The weather's gotten warmer every day, especially when it becomes the night to day racing.
Yeah, so we're gearing up for our first main event. Super excited about today. This is the big show, the Sunday, the last day. This is your last chance to leave it all out on the racetrack if you're one of these drivers.
Last day to get a trophy and a nice big old check here from Tucson Speedway. Well, let's go trackside. We've got we've already done opening ceremonies. Now we've got some driver intros to do.
All right, buddy, you look a little surprised. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess it's cool. I didn't realize I was gonna get it. But
Well, no, that's what's a surprise about it, bud.
yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. Who do you want to thank for the best appearing car? Your mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, sponsors?
I'd like to thank Kenny Armstrong, the car owner, lets me race it and really helps and fixes up and stuff. My dad, my mom, and just making this possible. It's really cool.
All right, everybody. Andy Ryle, congratulations, bud.
And Andrew Reel, one of those drivers running double duty today. We'll see him in the super late models later on as well.
Pretty cool. Best appearing legend car goes to Reel there in the 20.
I wonder where voting was for this. Like, was it a competitor
Mail-in ballot, probably.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're a competitor, why would you vote for someone else?
It's a good-looking legend car, though.
But it is a good looking. I love the purple and it pops with the white.
Yeah. That car spun out yesterday. Sorry to bring that up, but
That's not the time to bring up bad mojo.
Well, I mean, just don't.
But I guess you can. Now that he's won an award,
I'm
already,
just saying, if it still looks that good after a spin, like
there.
you're-
Okay,
you're
I
on-
get,
you're
I
on
get what
house
you're
money
saying.
now.
I get what you're saying.
yeah. The best appearing car. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah, why not?
Let's give that incentive. Make these good-looking race cars.
So the drivers are out of their race cars here at Tucson. And I think we're just waiting on.
I think
What are we waiting on?
we're waiting on the official shaking the hands, going down the line,
Okay.
saying good luck.
I see
Don't
that.
mess up my race today.
Yep. They've kind of done a good job of messing up some of the racing with some of the cautions we've had this weekend. But we're Sunday racing.
Oh man, now who's calling who?
I know. Well, I figured I'd double down.
We do have a late entry that has shown up here today. There was a little bit of controversy regarding the tires.
Yep, but
of
you can
this car.
see it's going to the front.
Speaking of controversy, I'll get
Yeah?
back to that later. There was some controversy
Oh.
last night.
You are teasing us.
I do. I've got a story.
All right, we're going to send it for the driver intros.
Driver of the 12S, Skylar Ray Meisenbach. And the 26 semi-pro driver, Tim Newmeyer. Driver of the 21, Madeline Lange. I believe that's the 7 down there. Saw him in the foot race last night, Bo Phipps. And driver of the number 40, another semi-pro competitor, Samantha Schwartz. Pete, you're going to have to help me with this number for the next one.
The mystery.
Pete, you got your mic?
It is.
All right, and moving on to the number 42, driver Steven Bazin.
We're trying to help. We're trying.
Driver of the number 19, Jaden Luce. And I believe that's the 8J there. That'll be Jarrett Dixon. Or sorry, in the number 4 there, Wyatt Flowers. And then in the 19 right in front of him, that'll be Jaden Luce. And driver of the number 32, Cody Milan. And then number 42 is the semi-pro of Piper Alton. And in the number 11, our first young lion competitor, Danny Arnold. And in the 24, out of Deer Park, Washington, Cole Dazenbrock. And it'll be driver of the 8J. That'll be Jaden Johnson. And in the 18, out of California, Brody Glaze. And up next, your best appearing car in this year's semi-pro and Young Lion Field, the 20 of Andrew Reel. And driver out of Las Vegas, Nevada, in the number 18, Gavin Ray. And in the number 88 is going to be Cade Fox. In the number 68, breaking into our top 5 starters now, Wyatt Dent. And driver of the 99, formerly out of Golden Valley, Arizona, Brody Whitbeck. The 15X was on pole yesterday. Kai Lavelle. Driver of the number 17-year Friday night winner, Taylor Mayhew. And winner of Saturday night's feature, starting up front on pole today, driver of the 22C, Chase Bergeson. And that is your field for your semi-pro and Young Lion competitors.
And what a field indeed here at Tucson Speedway. We get ready for 40 laps of competition. Now the drivers are buckling into their race cars. Wonder what the mindset is for these youngsters, Jeffrey, because a lot of them still trying to work their way through the beginning of their career. And you got to know the crews are probably like, you know what, just go out there, race hard for 40 laps, but don't overdo it early on. Set yourself up for the other 20, not the first 20.
So you're saying use your head?
That's what I'm
Just
thinking.
a little bit?
That's what I'm thinking. But these youngsters also know there's only one thing we're here to do, and that's to take home the trophy and the checkered.
Well, I mean, if you say so, then I got your back.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I believe you now that you said it.
So we're taking a look at Johnson here in the number 8.
I wanted to give him a proper intro.
Yes, we should probably give a few of these drivers some intro. So there's Johnson there. As we'll give you a couple more.
Sure.
You see the number 19, or the 4 of Flowers. You see
the 19 there of Luz.
Yep, Jaden Luz. And the 42.
The 53 was also up for debate.
That's right.
Yeah. So we do have our whole field here.
We got it. Yeah, this one was.
That's a Mackenzie Montgomery. By the way.
Yeah, Mackenzie. She was kind of standing there. And
Cali Mesa, California.
Not from our hood, but from California.
Cali Mesa.
Well, we're going to put these drivers in their race cars and get ready to go racing on the other side of this break. So stand with us, and we will go racing with the Legend cars coming up next.
Let's have, yeah, you should probably be on.
All right, we'd like you to join us in giving the command to start engines. If you don't know the words, it's pretty simple. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, but I'll leave it to y'all in 3, 2, no, we are still waiting, sorry. We need a couple more seconds to get some people still getting cleared off the rack. I'm slow, Captain. Remember, I'm old, so I'm slow. Just waiting on my signals up here from Pete. Appreciate it. But in a moment, we'll be getting these engines started and these semi-pro and young lions rolling. All right, fans, it is that time. 3, 2, 1.
The engines have fired, and we are ready to go racing here at Tucson Speedway for the third day of the Chili Willy weekend. As the sun is shining, and now the race cars are running.
Coming off a win in
Jeffrey, 40 laps for these legend cars. We've had 2 other days of racing. This is the national qualifier for the NX Legend cars. And does that put any pressure maybe on this event?
Certainly. The national qualifier, always a big deal. These drivers want to make it there. So if you can lock yourself in, get that good start to the year, it's going to take a lot of pressure off of you. But, Tommy, the big thing here, going into this race, we've seen it all weekend long, whether it's in racing or practice. Track position, track position, track position. That is the most important thing. It is like gold. If you could get your car to the front, well, you just might be able to stay there. Your best opportunity is going to be on these restarts.
Yeah, and I think if you're anywhere in the top 6, you're feeling good, right? You're feeling good about your chances of staying there from what we've seen. But you're also going to have to fight your way forward. If you're Chase Burgesson or if you're Taylor Mayhew right now, you're going to have to figure out who's going to go where on the initial start and who's got the launch. We saw the driver intros, but I'll still give you the driver lineup as these cars start circulating and building heat into their tires. Here at Tucson Speedway, Chase Burgesson will start on the front row alongside Taylor Mayhew in the 17M. The 15X of Kyle Lavelle and the 99B of Brody Whitbeck. Wyatt Dent in the 68 starts 5th, and the 88F of Kate Fox starts on the outside of row number 3. Gavin Ray in the 18 and the 20 of Andrew Reel starts row 4. Brody Glaze in the 18G and Jaden Johnson in the 8 starts 10th. Jarrett Dixon in the 8J and Colt Dazenbrock in the 24, your 6th row. Danny Arnold in the 11. The 42A of Piper Alton starts 13th and 14th, respectively. Cody Millen in 15th and is number 32. And the -4 White Flowers starts 16th. Jaden Lewis in the 19L inside of row 9. And Stephen Bazin in the 42 starts 18th. The 53 of Mackenzie Montgomery and the 40 of Samantha Schwartz starts 19th and 20th, with the 7 of Bo Phillips, Madeline Lang in the 21, Tim Newmeyer, Skylar Meisenbach in the 12, and the 12B of Brianna Bruce. Your field of 25 young Lion semi-pro racers.
Some of these cars only look like 85% car. Might be missing some body work over the last 2 days, but the big deal was to make it to this point in the weekend at all means. So these drivers were able to do it. We've seen a couple cars that have been worked on all day yesterday from incidents that took place on Friday. So they have made it here today. It is Sunday. It is a beautiful day in Tucson, Arizona. And we are gearing up for the final 3 main events of the weekend, starting with 40 laps of our semi-pro Young Lions Legend cars. What do you think, Tommy? All green?
I think so. I think today's going to be the day.
Today's the day.
I think with this 40 lapper, they're going to put on their smart helmets.
See, we're not afraid to say it.
Smart helmets.
Yeah, we'll just call it like we see it. We think that it's going to be a beautiful, clean day.
All right, we're going to go lights out at the flag stand. Waiting to see Pete. He gives us the 1 to go. Pete is also our on-track announcer here at Tucson Speedway. Does it all here at Tucson.
All right, warm up those tires. Last opportunity. You want a good start. You do not want to lose track position on the initial start of the race. It's going to be hard to regain it.
Chase Burgesson on the outside of the front row. Taylor Mayhew to the inside. Both winners already this weekend. Who's it going to be at the end of this 40-lap Legend Car main event? We go green. All right, out front. Mostly single file, but the caution waves. So forget any of what I just said. So false start here at Tucson Speedway. Get to wait to try it again.
Now, does that count as this race not going all green?
I think
or are we going to pretend like that didn't happen?
I think I lost my bet.
How could this happen?
That was just a practice start. That was just making sure everybody was paying attention.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know.
Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness that they're all. That was good. So that means like the second one's going to be that much better.
But you know, it's like the whole thing, right? The promoters see that there's a line in concession, so they're trying to get everybody through. That there's a line in the parking lot, everybody tailgating. Well, that's your final warning call, because now we're going racing for real now. Not Andrew Real. Well, he's going to be racing. He's already got the prettiest car, but this is for real.
Yeah, he's set.
All right, Burgesson and Mayhew bring the field around to the start zone. They fire off and we go green. "40 laps. And they're already side by side for the lead. This is a gamble now. Mayhew's going to push it. He's going to try to get Burgesson up the track to get the lane. It's working for now. And he's going to clear Burgesson sideways.
3 wide further back in the pack.
I think these drivers, Jeffrey, are seeing what you got to do to get to the lead. Mayhew didn't do a hip check, but he definitely played a bit of a stuntman to work that 22 up a lane enough to get to that preferred groove right there on top of the seam. Left side's on. And you see them all starting to find a running spot.
I can't take my eyes off of this group right here.
This is a big pack here. Anything can break out. That's Flowers leading this group in the below 4. Millen there in the 32. Right on the rear bumper, but it's Luz, Schwartz, and others all stacked up there. And you can see Schwartz trying to find a gap up into the groove.
Almost up into the 11.
So the 40 of Schwartz you see there, running that 9 degrees of banking. That is the not preferred groove, it seems. You can make a pass there, but you can't stay there for long. Up top is the 42 of Bazin. Bazin's running that 12 degrees of banking, and that is where the sweet spot is for these legend cars. Shore's going to try to pedal out, and the momentum will carry.
All right, Battle up in the 4th position.
That's Fox in the 88, battling with White Dent in the 68. A little bit of a report for your lead battle, starting to go to a simmer. But this is the pack to watch currently.
Sorry, now the 3 wide.
Yeah.
Flowers made the move.
Luz is going to take the spot. Hold on to it. Millen now we go 3 wide again. That's Danny Arnold in the 11 at the bottom. So Arnold trying to get back up into the groove and might have to use Flowers up to do it.
Oh boy.
Sends the 4 up the groove. And trouble with 53 out of turn 4. Gets into Phipps. Everybody else trying to avoid on the front straightaway as we go yellow. So Mackenzie Montgomery for a spin out of turn number 4, and Phipps just trying to go as far away from it and still got collected. Bo Phipps in the purple and black number 7 on the front straightaway. Just kind of had a rough go of it here this weekend. A couple of crashes on the front straightaway. And it looks like McKenzie's going to try to drive it away.
I'll be curious how this back end looks on the 53. The 7 certainly took a shot. We'll take a look here.
McKenzie's going to drive away. I don't see any tires down. The bumper's definitely needing replacement.
How is the car in that good a shape? You tell me.
Left side looks okay-ish. Minus that bumper, so I think go in for a bumper replacement and try it all again. So we're going to pick up Bo Phipps there and the 7, trying to get the door open. You can see that 7 wedged door. Now they break it free. And see if we got a replay on this one of our opening caution. We did not go clean and green.
So Montgomery going around, and Phipps not able to avoid as that car slid back up the track.
And this is the danger zone for everyone else trying to get by because they have to swerve up and then swerve back down.
Now, I've been noticing Montgomery has had one of the highest exits out of turn 4 up to this point in the race. And I'm wondering if there was an adjustment in the line or maybe, for one reason or another, that car broke loose. Wasn't able to recover it. Tried to lock down the brakes. But Phipps with nowhere to go in the number 7.
Yeah, you gotta pick a wall or a car. And I've heard from racers saying you're committed to crashing. So the better option, sadly, is hit the car because the car is going to move.
Yeah, we used to have this. Actually, we recently had this debate, and I remember some people heard you say that, and they're like, "Tommy, what do you mean you hit the car?
Why would you not?" Well, yeah. Well, we're under caution. We're going to mop this one up here on the front straightaway. We'll be back here for more racing from Tucson Speedway.
Pressure on the 22 currently. A lot of young Lions coming from the second row on back, trying to track down that 17 car with get back underway. Picked up on the left there and brought down into the
Tucson Speedway, and you saw Cole Raz coming back from break, the man that everyone is likely watching here this weekend to see what that 76 can do in the super late model feature. Cole Raz, though, next week going to be out at Kevin Harvick's current raceway for the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame 150 season opener at Kevin Harvick's Raceway, Kern Raceway out in Bakersfield, where Cole Raz looking to take a trophy here tonight and use that momentum on over to Saturday afternoon's ARC Menard Series West season opener. How about that? Just, you know, I'd like to brag on the West Coast a little bit. We ended in November, back in January. We even had an exhibition race in between at Irwindale in December. Racing year-round on the West Coast as we are mopping up a crash here on the front straightaway. When I say mopping, I mean it's pretty dang close to a mop. We're using brooms and shovels to pick up the remaining speedy dry and oil down from our front straightaway crash. Thank you all for joining with us here at Tucson Speedway, the action track built for speed. This is a 3/8 of a mile progressively banked racetrack. Always fun to see some racing action here. We've already seen some exciting first 8 laps into this legend car feature. And then it got too exciting out of turn number 4. So we look forward to seeing you all with us the rest of the day. And then, hey, the action continues over in Bakersfield, California next Saturday. Here to take a look at the weekend winners so far. Friday, we had Taylor Mayhew and Jaron Giannini pick up wins in the legend cars, with Cole Raz and Jace Hansen picking up a pair of wins in the 50-lap super late model races. Then Saturday, we had Jeremy Doss and Chase Burgesson grab victories in their 30 and 35-lap legend car races, with Michael Scott and Cole Raz picking up dual race wins to set the field for today's Chili Willy 150. So, fun pair of qualifying races that we see here, Daytona style, to set the field for today's Chili Willy 150. Legend cars making their way around the racetrack. We're going to work in some of that speedy dry on the front straightaway. Buzzing the tires over the top, making sure the fluid is going away. You and I, Jeffrey, get to make that 8-hour drive home tonight.
Yes.
Back to Valencia and then to Bakersfield the weekend after. Be up there at Kevin Harvick's Kern Racer for that ARC Menards Series West season opener. Looking forward to it. I always call Bakersfield, California, the California's World Center of Racing, because there's no other place that has as many racetracks per city than Bakersfield, California, in California. So California's home for racing, Bakersfield, as we get to start the ARC Menard Series West season next Saturday. But first we got to get through today.
We do. What lap are we on there, Tommy?
We are lap 8 in.
All right.
So we'll restart this one with 32 laps to go.
Bring it.
Taylor Mayhew has led this one. Chase Burgesson gets to try on the inside.
Now, do you think Chase is going to try
Yes.
and replicate?
Yeah. I knew what you were asking before you even started. The answer is yes. Chase, and here's the deal. I think at this point of the weekend, do you chalk that up to dirty driving, or do you chalk that up to this is what I have to do to pass?
That's I chalk it up to knowing what your playing field is.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make those moves. It's early to do it, but like we said, you take the lead.
And
you could hold on to it.
You could stay there.
Yeah.
All right, Chase. He'll be bringing the field to the green alongside of Taylor Mayhew. We go back to racing here at Tucson. He's going to work the low side, give him a gap in between the 22 and the 17, and he looks like he's going to fall back in line to second spot. So not push the issue this restart. But we're 3 wide mid-pack. Piper Alton there in the 42. Hanging tough in the middle. That's Dazenbrock in the 24 now in the middle. That's all around the 10th spot. Lose now. Oh, yeah, we're stacking up on the back straightaway. Everybody figuring it out, and they did. Lose in the number 19. Made a move to the inside.
And to the inside goes the 22.
Oh, but Chase is going to back it into the corner and have to do a big old slide. And you can see he loses 3-4 car lengths now on Mayhew. So you want to make a move, but you don't want to make it too harsh on yourself.
Battle for third.
Here is Ray looking to the inside of Fox. Fox in the green 88. Ray in the number 18 down below. Gavin Ray, Las Vegas Bullring racer. And you can see where the 99 of Whitbeck on the rear bumper will make the pass by. A little bit of a draft, a little bit of a hole closing.
All right.
Chase is looking again. There he goes into one.
Nothing developing yet.
You can see he's got the run at the end of the straightaway, but then has to figure out what to do when he gets there.
Sideways, though, out of 4.
And you can only get away with that so much here at Tucson before you start making your tires unhappy.
Battle for third. It's Whitbeck looking to the inside.
And he's going to go back in line. Kyle Lavelle still on the inside.
Oh, sorry, we're slamming bumpers back here. 24 got sideways in the middle, turns 3 and 4. Millen with nowhere to go.
This has been the tightest group of race cars since the start of this race, and it continues on. Brandon Bruce in the 12 in the middle of the action. But this whole group starts at the number 18G of Glaze.
Glaze had a long day yesterday, getting involved in 2 different incidents and then driving it back into the top 10.
Piper to the inside in the blue 42. Millen there in the 32, black and blue, and then the 11. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's tight. The 11 of Danny Arnold. He's working the way low side. Trying to see
there
what he
goes
can get.
Glaze up the track.
Pushing those front tires. 21 laps to go still in this race.
I really don't want to leave this, Tommy.
No, I don't blame you. I'll keep an eye on what you're trying to find.
Yeah.
This is an exciting one to watch.
All right, they're kind of sorting this out for the moment. Here's the battle now for third as it's developed.
So you see the third spot of Whitbeck holding on to that third spot, but it is Fox, Ray, Lavelle, and Dent all in a group, all in a pack, 3 wide now, and 1 and 2. And Real there in the 20, he's going to try to find a way with Johnson to close in to make it even more of a pack.
Your leader has opened it up. Your top 2 have pulled away from third place Whitbeck.
But there is lap traffic approaching here. The next lap or 2, they will greet the number 21 of Madeline Lang. Oh, and the 53 McKenzie around on the back straightaway in front of the leaders. McKenzie sliding it down to the low side, and we go yellow. Nice and safe spin. Mackenzie Montgomery with another slide, and can't help but think that maybe knowing that there might be some pressure from the leaders and just snapped around to that 53.
I still think it's a miracle that this car's still on the racetrack.
Yeah.
After that hit. Bo Phipps getting knocked out in the first incident with extensive damage, and it was from hitting this car, and the 53 was able to get away with it. And it looks like they're going to be able to get away with this one as well.
Top five currently in their main Ruby with it. Keith Fox and Wyatt May. There's 22 laps made. That means there's 18 laps remaining to get back on the front of the race.
So we're going to get this 53 back going again. I will commend Tucson Speedway. Here's why.
Yes.
So way back in the winter heat days, this light pole that's trying to hide this 53 car, when they had original lights, it would block some of the back straightaway. But now that they've gone LED, we can see the whole back straightaway. It's just that McKenzie still tried to hide. Here's what we got of a replay. You can see out of turn number 2, 53 just coming around all by herself on the gas and spinning in front of the leaders. And thankfully, Mayhew and the bunch just kind of checked up and let the spin take place and not tried to shoot to the bottom, because that's eventually where the 53 went.
Well, we had a lot of opportunities. When you started telling us about the 53 spinning out, I thought you were calling what was about to be another wreck. I was watching Glaze in the 18.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And he was just ahead of that big pack we were watching a little bit earlier, further back in the pack. And Glaze got incredibly sideways out of turn 4. So I was keeping my eye on it, like, I see it, and then you're like, it's the 53, and I'm like,
wait,
no, that's not where I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I was watching to see how quick the leaders were closing in on that lap traffic. And with my own eyeballs, just watched the 53 just spin it around.
Our next main event getting lined up.
You see him there? The Pro and Master class combined. I like when they combine the classes.
Yeah.
Just because they're all relative enough, right? I mean, you're not going to put the Masters with the semi-pros.
I think we're having problems with this 53. It's still facing the wrong direction.
Maybe we're trying something new on Sunday.
Ah. Little test drive Eve of Destruction. Mm-hmm. All right, where are we going with this car?
We are, looks to be running. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Success. We did it.
It happened. So this will be our now a quickie caution. That's what the industry likes to call it.
I think it's too late for that.
Well, no, I said starting now. Starting now to be, yeah, it turned into a longer caution for single car spin. But now it's going to be a quickie caution. It looks like we're already doubled up and ready. 1 to go from the flag stand.
Well, so far it seems like it's going to come down between the 17 and the 22.
Yep. Now does Burgesson, is it still too early for Chase to start to possibly, move the 17 up the track on the restart?
He was moved up on the first lap.
We got 18 more to go.
It's not too early.
I don't blame you. I'm agreeing with what you are saying. Mayhew wants to just get this restart nailed and drive away. We go back to green.
Restart nailed.
And he's going to get some assistance from Fox into turn number 1. So Burgesson sliding back to 4th. He's got to get in that hole now and get in front of Whitbeck, which he will do. So not the restart for Chase. And still plenty of action all the way around this racetrack.
We know where that group is.
Brandon Bruce on the steady climb in that 12 to the inside of Arnold.
Bruce had a very short day yesterday, getting involved in an incident. Battle for second. Lavelle making a look. Fox going to hold on to that second position, and now now it's the 22 trying to fill the gap, maybe put it in the middle.
Can we go 3 wide, possibly? Lavelle's going to make the move up into the second spot. Fox on the outside.
Oh, Whitbeck had to course correct. 3 wide behind him. It's Ray on the inside. He's fighting for that position, trying to make it stick on the inside, but
not going to work, though.
And back to our battle for 4th. Fox in that green 88, Whitbeck in the white 99. And there's the prettiest car, the number 20.
And it's moving forward from that mid-pack start. Ray, Real with a big slide there out of turn number 2.
Yep.
Lutz is now going to get to the rear bumper as Whitbeck and Fox battle it out for 4th.
Flirting with it.
Coming up on 10 laps to go here when the leaders cross the line. This time by, still duking it out for 4th. Single file through most of the pack until you get deeper in the field. But you can see Dent trying to get by Johnson in the 8th. That's going to allow Ray to now take a look to the inside of White Dent.
So there's your leader. Heading off screen. You see how the field is kind of spread out up front. And we talked about how crucial these restarts are going to be, and the 22 just did not get the restart that he needed. And paying for it now, sitting in the 3rd position. Real getting some pressure from Luz behind.
Yeah, Luz is now getting some momentum here out of the exits of the corners. He's going to look to the inside, see if he can make a move into 3, but Real is going to be right there in the preferred groove that these legend cars love. Dent losing a spot to Ray. Brian and Bruce now to the inside of Piper Alton into turn number 3 in the black and camo number 12. Alton's going to concede. I should say camo. It's more of a stripes. Number 12, stars and stripes. It'll be 5 laps to go here at Tucson Speedway for the semi-pro Young Lions.
Coming down to it. Mayhew feeling very comfortable, but does not want to see a yellow. Hoping that this all stays clean right to the finish. Now they're closing in on Montgomery, the 53, who's been around twice. Montgomery goes low and is going to let the leaders go by as we continue to watch this battling inside of the top 10. We got one car with an issue. Schwartz just keeping it out of trouble out of turn number 4. We talked about how crucial even that first start was going to be. And it was Mayhew who wasted no time in making the move to take the lead. White flag is in the air. After a mechanical issue yesterday, didn't even get to contend for the win. Going to bring it all home today. Sunday for the semi-pro Young Lion winner. Taylor Mayhew takes the victory. Well, that's a nice recovery. Some redemption there. Taylor Mayhew gets to go to victory lane.
Dixon, Danny Arnold, Cole Basencroft, Brody Blade, Wyatt Flowers, Stephen Basin, Tim Newmeyer, Skylar Ray Meisenbach, Madeline Lane, Samantha Schwartz, Mackenzie Montgomery, and Bo Phipps rounding out our 25 semi-pro and Young Lions this year at the 2025 Chili Willy.
Taylor going to pull it into victory lane. And we'll go ahead and sit it down for the winning interview of our first main event of the day.
Getting out of the car now, Taylor Mayhew.
All right, everybody, give it up for Taylor Mayhew. Buddy, you had a great hot rod, man. What do you think about racing out at Tucson Speedway?
Oh, this track's just amazing, and I can't thank Third Gen enough for all the help this weekend and just making my car a rocket show overall, and just put in all the hard work. Like this morning, my whole body and everything was completely torn apart. Thanks to Peyton and Parker and all the guys at Third Gen, got it back together, got me out for qualifying, and here we are in victory lane.
All right, buddy. Where are you from? Home track, bud.
Bakersfield, California, and my home track is KCRP.
All right, everybody, give it up for Taylor Mayhew, everybody.
Walking over to the 22 now. That's your semi-pro national qualifier winner, Chase Bergeson. I believe we'll talk with our second place podium sitter, Kyle Lavelle first, though.
Here's Kyle Lavelle, your second place finisher. What'd you think, man? You were out there and everything balloted out.
Yeah, that was one hell of a race. It was fun. I did way better than I expected. I just learned the bottom line yesterday and kept it with me today, and that's how I got through to second.
Oh, so you learned something out here and everything. That's great to hear and everything. So what kind of triggered it? Was it just how it felt good? What was the entry or the exit like for you?
It's about the motor, because I'm using one of the YZ motors, because yesterday I got in a very bad crash and that car is done for a while. And this motor allows you to ping it down in the middle of the turn and don't get tight or loose. So this is the motor that helped me.
All right, buddy. Where are you from? Your home track?
My home track is Tucson Speedway from Ukiah, California.
All right, everybody, give it up. I taught you yesterday, bud. Yeah. So what did you learn from yesterday, today? What do you think you might do different next time you come out here?
Definitely not have a car that loose, especially you're battling with Taylor there. Just didn't have enough for Taylor. And overall, just didn't have what I had yesterday, not even close. I mean, it was very loose to 3 and 4. 1 and 2 was a little bit controllable, but 3 and 4 was really my bad spot. And they just gained on me everywhere else. So thank my Uncle Brian and Bergeson's, Toyota Redlands, Bonafide, all my sponsors at home. And look forward to the next.
All right, buddy. Where are you from? Where's your home track, bud?
I'm from Ukiah, California. My home track is Tucson Speedway.
All right, everybody, give it up for Chase Bergeson.
But Taylor Mayhew and Chase Bergeson, your 2 national qualifiers at this year's Chili Willy. Up next, we'll have our Masters and Pros 50-lap national qualifier event after driver intros.
Well, you got to hear from the top 3. These drivers getting it done here. The semi-pro Young Lions grabbing the victory was Taylor Mayhew in that number 17. So a good start to the day. We had a couple wrecks, but honestly, it could have been worse. We were racing real hard, had a lot of big groups pushing it, and it was some good racing to kick things off. We're going to take a break here. We will be back at Tucson Speedway in Tucson, Arizona when we return. And we are back here at Tucson Speedway, the 2025 Chili Willy, as we have one of our 3 main events now completed. Next up is going to be the Pro and Masters Legend Cars, and they'll be taking on the track for their main event, as we just saw 40 laps of the Semi-Pro Young Lions, and now we get to enjoy the Pros and the Masters. Now, sometimes it's funny because Pros and Masters, most people will automatically kind of assume, well, of course, this is going to be the cleaner of the races. Not always the case, but, we'll see what happens in these 50 laps of main event action that's coming up here. We're going to go ahead and see the intros up close and personal, and then it will be time to send them loose. Again, beautiful weather here at Tucson Speedway, and it is a treat for all of us, and glad to have you all joining us here today for some Sunday racing, short track action in January, and we're really suffering here in the high 60s, but we'll find a way to make it. We'll find our way. They're going to line up our field on the front straightaway. It'll be this, and then an intermission before we jump into 150 laps of the O'Reilly Chevrolet Super Late Model Chili Willy 150. So these drivers gearing up for their big show, and then it is on to the super late models, as we've seen a lot of storylines play out, and we'll see what else plays out here. The field there lining up on the front stretch. This is another deal. We've seen some, a couple of heated battles between some drivers and some drivers being able to have success. It's a bit ironic, but our front row actually had contact yesterday, and they both went around. So, sometimes the storylines just kind of write themselves. But we'll see what happens today. Certainly, I'm sure as they kind of talk it out right now, I'm sure everything's going to be real good. As isn't that the way it goes? We always talk about, you always hear it in racing, when drivers have an issue one day or 1 week, and then the very following week they're parked next to each other or they qualify together. It's just the way that it goes. But these drivers, they know that the conditions they've been racing in, it's been hard to pass. And sometimes that means you're going to have to kind of risk it, and sometimes that risk pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. So likely understanding there amongst a couple of good legend car drivers. As we walk through the field, see the drivers, see the cars. This 85 had an interesting issue yesterday, and that's Tyler Hicks. Hicks lost fluid on track, and it ended up sending a couple cars further back in the pack around. But they were able to actually get the car back on track without losing a lap. So whatever the case there be, very likely, as Bazin giving us a wave there, we presume it was likely a hose that came loose or something that they were able to get the fluid back in. Car wasn't hurt from it, so that was at least able to be taken care of. You see some of these drivers having conversations before they get going. And we'll send it down for the intros.
Best appearing in this group, and it's going to be the 04 Cole Bowman. Cole Brown, you're the best appearing car in the Legends in this category.
04 Cole Brown, best appearing car in our Master and Pro Legend class.
All right, buddy, what do you think? Kind of surprised?
Not really. I mean, everybody was kind of saying that they thought that it was mine, but I don't know. I really appreciate everybody's opinion. We worked really hard on this car to make it look good, and I can't thank all my sponsors and everybody that makes this possible.
All right, well, what's your home track? Where are you from? And that way we get started here, buddy.
I'm from Ukiah, California, and then Ukiah Speedway is my nearest track.
All right, good luck to you today. Cole Brown, everybody.
So Cole Brown, going to enjoy some that little bonus there of having the prettiest car. I like that. I like the contrast. Last time, I have no idea how I won. This time, oh yeah, no, I was expecting. That was all mine.
All right, and it is time for our Master and Pro driver intros, starting in the number 23, driver out of Tucson, Arizona, Brent Schmick. And driver out of number 55, hailing out of Idaho, Jonathan Davis. And in the number 18, out of Buckeye, Arizona, Mike Dutro. Another California legend driver of the number 20, Ashton Williams. And we got the 47, Michael Vanderlip. And driver of the 15D, Davis Jacobson. And in the 03 out of Arvada, Colorado, Darrell Lee Stewart. And driving the 17W this year at the Chili Willy, Johnny White. And in the 32, hailing out of Austin, Texas, Scott Anderson. And in the 43, Christian Bazin. Driver of the number 25 out of Henderson, Nevada, Brandon Giannini. And in the 85 out of Encinitas, California, Tyler Hicks. And driver on the number 75 from Upper Lake, California, Mike Doss. And we saw his son Taylor win that race just moments ago. Driver of the number 17, David Mayhew. And in the number 19, been fast all weekend, Brandon White. And in the 64, another Colorado legend driver, Zeke Hanger. And your best appearing car in the 04, another California driver, Cole Brown. And in the 66, we saw Jeremy Doss win in this car yesterday, but back in the ride, Tanner Reif. And driver of the number 05, a lot of drivers from California in this field. We got Robert Zub. And in the 43D, another driver out of Washington, Dylan Wolf. And he was the number 1 pro driver in NX in 2024, won the Cookout Summer Shootout. Driver of the number 71, Jake Bowman. And a winner already this weekend, driving the number 15, another Henderson driver, Jaron Giannini. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Master and Pro Chili Willy field.
So we're going to get the drivers strapped in as you have been introduced to the field, ready to go at it for 50 laps here at Tucson Speedway for the final time this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and we have made it to Sunday. As you get one last look at these cars pre-race, some of them already have some dents and dings. But that's all right. They're ready to go. They're ready to race. And so are we. Again, happy to have all of you here joining us at Tucson Speedway. Tucson giving us a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I know yesterday Tommy said not a cloud in the sky. Today I can count like 1.5. But that's okay. We'll give Tucson that. It is it's actually, you know, it's a nice filler to the sky here. Just to add to the backdrop, Tucson again providing just a wonderful place to come out to. A lot of people like to escape the cold and make their way out here for this event. We get to see it a lot. We have a lot of drivers from the Northwest making their way, and happy to have all these drivers, not just, of course, from Arizona, but making their way from out of state here to race with us on this one. So we're getting the last of the drivers hooked up and set up, getting them buckled in as we get ready to start the engines here and hand out some more trophies at the end of the 50 laps. Now, interesting driver change there. You heard about the success that the 66 has had this week, and with Jeremy Doss behind the wheel, Tanner Reif going to be taking on that car here today. So a driver swap, and now the pressure's on for Tanner. We know what that car can do. So Reif is going to have to bring it here today. Sure, he will, but he's got some tough competition already ahead of him and all around him, and we get to see how they all are able to handle this. 50 laps, you're going to want to save a little bit there for the end of the race. And we've already seen and talked about how important the restarts have been. We're going to see it again here on the start of this race as we get ready to start them up.
It is time to give the command in 3, 2, 1. You all sound beautiful. We're ready to get this legend show underway. I'm heading back up to the booth. I will see you all for super late model intros.
All right. The fans here at Tucson Speedway, start them up. The drivers have cranked. The cars are on. It is time to get her done out here in Tucson. as the cars get rolling, we start to wonder what we're going to see exactly on the start of this race. We saw the aggression that was necessary to win the race last time. Do we expect that same aggression for this start?
I think so.
That's the question. You know who there's no one better to answer that than Tommy.
I think so. I think we're going to see some of that aggression, and I think we're going to see the braver, the more experienced drivers use some of those elbows today.
Yeah. I set you up for failure right there.
It's okay. Did you see me have to fix?
What was that? What were you fixing?
Did you catch it on video?
I don't think I did.
Or were we under commercial break?
No.
Okay.
Not this time.
So, you and I have raced in the past.
Yeah.
We've had a storied but not a historic racing career. Maybe 3.5 years. No, it's more like 10. But we crashed on purpose most of those. You know, as a driver, when you're strapped into your race car, doing your final adjustments.
Yeah.
Like your crew or your people walk away,
Mm-hmm.
and you're confident, right? Like, I'm already in the car, I'm buckled in. What can go wrong? Just put on my steering wheel. And it's that moment, as you see all the people's backs that were right next to your car leaving, is when you realize your radio doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
And so he's like, you know, in his helmet.
This is a great reenactment.
And, you know, everyone's walking away. They're having it like, oh, we're gonna win this thing.
Right.
And the camera guy is walking by, hearing this SOS call. And I was going to walk up and, you know, if he needed me to adjust something on the car, then I wasn't going to touch it.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, man, my receiver, it's not working. I'm like, okay, that's worthy of a touch. So we got him all situated down there.
So you turned on the receiver?
Yep.
This was for who, by the way?
For Stewart in the 03. So let me tell you this. If he takes a caution under green, or if he takes a lead under caution, you know it's my fault. Because he didn't hear it.
Well,
he's fine. I made sure I didn't leave until he told me he was good. Because he was hearing nothing but static.
Oh, man. Well, look at you manipulating the race.
Legend cars on the racetrack. 50 laps. 5-0. Yes, you heard me right. On a January Sunday afternoon. We've got Legend cars on the track for the final time this weekend.
I've had a conversation with the fine folks at home, but do you find our front row ironic, given what happened yesterday?
Yes, I do. The best of the best. And both of these Legend cars, it seems, on the front row. But I don't know if you saw, but during driver intros, they're the different driver behind the wheel of the 66.
We did see that, Tanner Reif.
Tanner Reif, who was in the Jeremy Doss 35 on Friday, crashed that one up to oblivion, not on really his doing, just a racing incident. Jeremy Doss won it yesterday and handed the keys over and said, your turn. So I'm sure there's some pressure. It'll be Bowman and Giannini bringing the field to the green for 50 laps for the Masters and the Pros. And 3 wide, right? Reif wasting no time. Giannini out to the lead. Here comes Zub with a bumper.
Uh-oh.
Tanner Reif with a big slide. Tanner's been doing some busy work over on the east and whatnot. Good to see him back out west here in 2025, including right here, the first stop of the year at Tucson.
Well, they quickly go single file inside of the top 10, and it looks like they're going to file it out to now the entire field to single file until 43 said no.
Yeah, the Wolf ride, the 43D, goes to the inside now, looking for 6th on the racetrack. Soon enough, that'll be a battle for 5th. 50 laps, Jeffrey, a lot of time to either make a mistake or to make some moves. Bumper tagging a 1 for your lead.
I'm here.
Bowman giving the shot to Jaron Giannini. Taylor Mayhew picking up where Dad left off in this very race 1 year ago. David Mayhew getting the Chili Willy victory on the premiere day, which was actually a Saturday night because of weather on Sunday. They just shifted everything up a day.
Well, let's see. Oh.
Slide.
White was coming up whether or not the 32 wanted him to. So
that's Anderson in the 32. Scott Anderson. Wolf still working the inside. This time now with White to his outside. Brandon White in the 19W. And I still wonder, Jeffrey, how many of these drivers with a 50 lapper are going to wait till at least halfway through this race, hope for a caution, and then that's when they put it on 100% mode.
It is a strategy. It's just we keep talking about you can't give up spots if you're going to do that. Like if you're, let's use Rife as an example. He's hanging on to the top 4 cars right now. But if he's willing to just ride, he feels like he's not using up those tires, then ride. Make it work. Save your stuff if you can. But it's there's going to come a point where you're going to start getting worried if that yellow's ever going to come out.
I talk about some strategy. We're not seeing it really up front. Jaron Giannini in qualifying at the top spot with a 17.4. His best lap time on lap 5 with a 17.4. And his last time by, which is going to refresh this time, 17.7. So we're within 0.3 or so, depending on the lap. The previous lap was a 17.5. So we're running at qualifying pace, give or take, depending on any situations. That is not what we're going to see in the next main event for the Super Late models. You're going to see cars running probably a second or two off pace from their qualifying lap, at least.
Well, we're looking at your top 5 cars right now.
Everybody's single file around this racetrack. Tyler Hicks in the 85 looking for a way around Mike Doss in the 75. Hicks gonna look high. Doss is gonna plant those left sides right on the groove, right on the seam.
It's battle for 11th. The 2 bluest cars on track are
leaders are crossing the line now. They will be approaching lap traffic out of turn number 2 within the next lap or so. Jaron Giannini leads by 0.2 of a second over Jake Bowman. They'll be closing in on Brent Schmidt. Brent's going to go low, allow the leaders their preferred groove. The next car up will be Jonathan Davis in the 55D. And we have seen this lap traffic play a factor. If you're first time watching Tucson Speedway Chili Willy weekend, I mentioned it before, the 20 machine peeling off track, Jimmy Sloan. Jumping in Ashton Williams, number 20, this weekend, or today. But Tucson Speedway, because the track's so wide and you got so many grooves to work with, lap traffic, for the most part, told to hold your line and be predictable for the leaders.
Bowman struggled right there.
Yeah, he's still struggling.
It almost opened up the door for Zub to get to the inside, but trying to see if he's able to recover or if there's something wrong with that car.
Bowman with a slide. Did he overheat his tires possibly? These Legend Car tires built for the endurance of life, but you can still overheat your tires in a long green flag run like this. 20 laps in, 30 laps to go. Robbie Zub, Cole Brown looking for a way around the second spot runner, the 71 of Bowman.
You can see the way they're stacking up behind Bowman.
All the signs that the 71 is struggling. And Bowman right now is just hoping for a caution. He needs to hit that reset button. And now Zub wasting no time. He's going to put the bumper to Bowman.
Might be the caution.
They see that Jaron Giannini is driving away. And they can also see lap traffic as an opportunity.
I don't think what we're seeing is aggressive saving from Bowman.
No, and look at Zub with the slide. Here comes Brown now to the inside. Everybody tired of following.
Oh boy, with lap traffic, this is going to get tight. Now remember, the 71 was involved in an incident yesterday, broke the right front. It is possible that when they got it all back together, obviously they've had a lot of practice. You want to try and fill out the car, but there's always that chance they didn't get it all completely back together how they want it.
Or it's causing an issue with the tires on the front. Halfway, this time by 25 done, 25 more to go.
Oh, and Bowman gets way off the pace into turn 3.
Yeah, we got issues with that 71. Could we see a caution from it possibly? I don't see any fluid. Bowman with his hands out the window. And he's going to hike it up to the turn 2 track exit. If he can make it on speed and momentum, I don't think he's going to. I think we're going to see a caution. Well, there's the caution that Bowman needed. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's the caution that he created.
I'm thinking that he needed more than a caution in this race. Something amiss. We saw the gap beginning to grow. We saw the drivers on his bumper, and then I don't know if the car shut off over into turn number 3. Whatever the case, it almost looked like he got on the brakes.
Yeah.
The drivers behind slammed in. And luckily, it wasn't an actual wreck that we got from all that. But
good thing these cars have real steel bumpers.
And good thing that they're easy to replace.
Yeah, and I also heard what sounded like the motor completely shut off right here past the start-finish line to the tune of my ears. So the 71 was struggling until it struggled no more. Trying to see who will be our possible wave around. Here's a replay down the back straightaway. You can see that 71 just losing full momentum, like a parachute jumped out from behind his legend car.
It's unnerving for the drivers behind you. Zub really didn't have anywhere to go. Had Rife to the inside for a bit there.
I want to have Sarah back it up one more time, and we'll hit it in slow-mo. Did it look like the 71 might have gone up to the wall, or am I seeing things? Am I grabbing at straws? Looks like he got pretty close.
He got close. I don't recall seeing, damage on the right side.
I don't remember seeing damage either, and I don't see a real tire mark.
But if it was a lack of control that he had in that car, and then it caught the wall, that might have been his moment of all right, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So he might have caught the wall. I see what you're saying.
But developing story down the back straightaway.
Well, you're going to have to keep us up to date on scoring, whether or not this car is still on the lead lap.
Jake Bowman returns, so it might be a simple.
Maybe he was just aggressively saving. Now he's going to pass everybody.
He went in to change tires. Could have been a simple electrical issue, like.
Maybe his receiver was staticky.
Well, let me get an update on my boy Darrell Stewart now that I'm his crew chief.
Okay. Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, he'd just be hearing in his ears. Like you said, he just heard static.
Imagine if his crew guy was just going
Yeah. Well,
I know that's not how receivers work.
I'm currently leading Darrell Stewart up to a top 16, baby.
Top 16?
We're rolling now.
Are you going to go down and ask him for half of the check he gets?
No, I'll be nice.
So just 30%?
03%.
03?
Yeah, 03, that's his number. That's what he's going to keep. I'm taking the rest.
Oh, okay. Generous.
All right, so Bowman, when we go back to green, in theory, Jeffrey, he should not have lost a lap because while he did bring out the caution, the field freezes per scoring, which means no laps are counted.
And reverts back a lap. So, yeah.
But he's not going to keep his spot.
You know, we've seen drivers try. He didn't even try. I always love when drivers do that. They pull into the pits, and then they're like, I was third.
Yeah.
And the officials are like, no, Bazin.
Yeah, Christian Bazin having an issue. He's going to peel off to the pits.
Where are you going, Bazin? All right.
So he's going to peel off at the worst time. Something happened that he immediately had to jump to because we're going green next time by.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the 71 has the ability to pass cars or if he still struggles, but how many laps does he have to do it?
24 laps.
Not a lot of time.
He's come from the back before on Friday night. Made his way up to the top two. It'll be Brown and Giannini now dueling it out for the lead. We go back to green.
All right, who's going to make the move?
Brown with that great run, but not enough momentum, is carrying on the outside with help from Reif. Giannini continues to lead. But the battle is for second. Tanner Reif in the 66 on the outside. 04 Cole Brown picking up the prettiest car award. Here's Wolf working on the inside, waiting for an issue on the outside lane. But he's going to have to slide up to that hole that you see on his outside. Not clear yet.
All right, Tommy, give me that Bowman update.
Bowman is currently in 13th on the lead lap. 30 down, 20 to go. 71, yep. So he's going to look to get by Brandon Giannini, who working that inside line.
Oh, they're sideways in front of him.
Zeke Hanger in the 64. Johnny White in the 17W, 3 wide in front of Bowman. Leaning on each other out of turn 2. Zeke might fire back, and he does. And he's going to slide. Hang on to it. Bowman with an issue again. Bowman off pace, off power, and likely to bring another caution out. Nope, he's got it back running again.
At first I thought Bowman just saw the writing on the wall as the 55's now up the pace.
Yeah. Jonathan Davis, he's going to peel off to the pits. Call it a day, it seems. Hand high out the window to Warren. And Bowman heading to the pit lane. A lot of moving, a lot of shaking, but nothing up front for the lead just yet. Jaron Giannini keeping them all behind him with 16 laps to go, but on the charge could be Tanner Reif right now. The Jeremy Doss special behind Bischofberger on the windshield. Last night it was Doss who got the win in this very car. And today is a Tanner Reif's turn. He's got to get around that third gen, number 15.
We saw David Mayhew a lap ago assist the 19 out of the groove. It recommended that he gets out of the groove.
Yeah.
And now White battling with Giannini.
Brandon Giannini's been stuck on that low side, it seems like, for the last 2 days. And he likes it. he's not really losing any spots by doing it. But he's also working his way forward. Could be waiting for another caution as a stack up of an opportunity.
Now it's White's turn on the inside. Will he recommend Mayhew get out of the groove now?
Brandon White working the middle groove here. 9 degrees of banking, 6 degrees out the bottom. They will sometimes use the flat apron, but it's that 12 degrees of banking that all these legend cars are working for up top.
Up front, we'll give you the update.
They go by lap traffic of Brent Schmidt, but it's Jaron Giannini still with that 3-car length or more, 0.4 of a second gap at the line for the 15. The nearest battle in the top 5 will be the 05 and the 43. Wolf in the 43, Zub, who has the 4th position in the 05. Dylan Wolf, he's got less than 10 laps to go to make a move up into the 4th spot. The 66 of Tanner Reif has only 7 laps to go to make a move for the win.
And he's losing time to the leader.
Yes, he is. Last time by with a touch slower. Not by much, but visibly you can still see it. Jaron Giannini clicking off consistent lap times.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hang on to it, White.
Woo. So that's a issue for the 32.
Anderson. He's going to make it off the track. White did hit the wall. You can see 17W with some concrete in the wheels.
I'm trying to figure out the 32 did not pull it to the pits, but that car either has a right front flat or the suspension's broken.
Well, we're going to come to inside of 5 to go here.
Here's your leaders.
Anderson limping along. Looks like a flat right front.
The 32 does opt to get off the track. Okay. I wasn't sure for a second. Your top 3. Giannini, Reif, Brown. They're going to have some lap traffic up ahead. Whether they get to that lap traffic, it's going to be another story. Giannini probably hoping that white flag's going to fly here very quickly. There's the lap traffic, but there's the white flag. Jaron Giannini taking advantage of that front row starting spot. Got some lap traffic ducking out of the way for the leaders. One last move for Reif, but it's not going to be enough. The Master Pro Legend main event goes to Jaron Giannini. Giannini ending this with a pretty solid weekend. Going to finish things off with victory here on this Sunday.
Going down the rest of the order, Mike Dutro, Brent Schmidt, Scott Anderson, Jake Bowman, Jonathan Davis, Christian Mason, and Jimmy Sloan, who was in that 28.
That is going to conclude the action
Jimmy Sloan was the first to drop off the track.
on this legend car racing for the weekend. But it means a super late model action on Sunday is just about to begin. We'll send it down for the winning interview.
Jaron? Bookends, buddy, bookends. One Friday night, one tonight. What do you think, bud?
It was a overall good weekend other than yesterday, but glad we won today.
Kind of tried to do a little slide job there yesterday, and kind of got a little rough there on.
Yeah, I got a little free getting in there. Me and the 71 are all good. We're all friends, so we're all good there.
All right, home track, where are you from, stuff like that?
I'm from Las Vegas. Home track's the bull ring, 3/8 high banked, kind of like this, but I feel like it's more one groove than here.
All right. Obviously, you have lots of friends and family sponsors, man. They've really helped you down this weekend.
My dad, Peyton Saxton, Parker Heffel, Elrod, Third Gen Race Cars, all the fans for coming out, and Tucson for hosting such a great race.
All right, everybody, Jaron and Nene, everybody. All right, we're having a little conversation here with Tanner here. We're going to move this over here. Tanner, right, buddy? Come here, bud. Let's talk real quick.
Sir.
I want to put you right here. Tanner Rife and everything, stuff like that. You got second place. Do you think you had anything for Jerome?
Jerome Giannini?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing about legend racing is that when you're this close to the rest of the field, it's kind of hard to catch them. So we were like time for time on top of each other. I was hoping we got a yellow there, but he did a really good job. He drove his race, and we started in 5th. We loosened up the car for qualifying, and I think that we dropped a few spots because of that. So if we started further up, or if I was in my car that I was supposed to be in, but I got sent into the fence lap 1 of the first race. We would have been up there, but I can't thank JD Industries, Jeremy Doss for getting us this car and getting us up here. It was really fast. We didn't get a race yesterday because I got a little penalty for getting out of my car, but for first time in 7 months, I was here to prove to myself that I was a fast driver and go race Arca Kern and go win that.
All right, Tanner Rife, you're exactly right, man. You proved your point and everything. Great job and everything. Congratulations. Tanner Rife, second place. Mr. Cole Brown, buddy, you got a good-looking car, and you had a fast hot rod today.
Yeah, I can't thank JD Industries team enough. We really showed up this year. Last year was most of our first times here, and we struggled a little bit on fire off speed. But, man, after all the notes from last year and just JD working so hard and Mike Doss and just everybody on the JD Motorsports team, we really, really brought some fast cars, and I just can't thank them enough. I'd really like to thank all my sponsors, everybody on board. Tatum Motorsports especially, they're the closest one to us, and I just can't thank everybody that makes this possible for me.
Do you think you could have done anything different? Anything just to get that extra 10th?
There's always takeaways from the race, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. After the first night here and seeing all the torn up race cars and whatnot, I work too hard to keep a clean car, and I don't want to race anybody with any disrespect. I feel like I could have got a little bit better restart, but still at the end of the day, I would have had to slide him, and it's just it's right on the edge of chaos. So I'm really happy with the way that I executed, and yeah, no, these guys in front of me had some fast hot rods.
All right, everybody, Cole Brown, third place. What did you guys think about that legend race? Was that cool or what? Those guys battled door to door, fender to fender for 50 laps, man. No problems at all. Mr. Evan, are you coming down, buddy?
Well, we're going to gear up for the super late models coming up next. 150 laps. The Chili Willy 150 is going to be coming our way. Jaron Giannini is our winner here with the Master and Pro Legend Car main event, with Rife and Brown filling up the podium. You heard some of the discussion there in regards to how this race played out compared to maybe some of the early races of the weekend. We'll see how the 150 laps of super late model racing plays out coming up next. last year out at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. And next weekend, going to be back out for more as the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame 150, Saturday, January 25th. Should be a good one. Going to be interesting. It's going to be racing under the sun out there. Something that not often, especially racing in January, starting the ARC Menard Series West season in January. So we're kicking it off here. We're bragging on the West Coast that, hey, you know, we can do it. Why not? We're going to be doing it. We hope that you can join us. The driver that you saw all over that video, Cole Raz, he's had quite the weekend here. Of course, won the 50-lap race on Friday night. Then yesterday came back, won the qualifying race. And he's going to be starting in the second spot here. The question you see there, can it be a weekend sweep for Cole Raz? He loves this track. This has been a track that he is 100% comfortable and knows, and he is ready to be the driver to take it all home on this one. So we'll see if he can do it. He's got some heavy competition coming after him, and they now know what he's got in the chamber, but we'll see what the rest of the field will have for Cole Raz here today.
Hands over there. Evan, you want to go down and check who's out of state and everything? First time at Tucson Speedway.
Getting ready to bring our field out for more.
All right. Who's from out of town? Give me a hand.
We'll see what our stacked field, a good number of super late models that are going to be joining us here, and very excited about the race before us, 150 laps, and it is a lot around the strategy, being able to keep those tires under you. So the way that the tires work, by the way, you qualify on a set of tires. Those are the tires that you start on. Now, you're going to have those tires, a couple laps on them. And at the halfway break is when we're going to have the option. These drivers are going to have 2 tires to take. So we're going to sit it down. We've got some stuff going on the PA. I was going to sit it down. Maybe they're not going to be doing anything on the PA.
Go down there, buddy. Chase somebody out.
Hey, any out-of-towners down here near turn 3?
They're finding the out-of-towners. Let's see who they are.
South Dakota, the land of the Mount Rushmore.
It's cold over there.
We got
It's
some
cold
South
over
Dakotans
there.
down
Who
here.
else is down this way? Talk to me. Over there. California Sears Point. Hang on, Evan.
Who
Come on, buddy,
else
Evan.
from my great home state of California. Hey, I heard some claps on this side.
All right, who's over here? Yeah, go ahead. You're from British Columbia, Canada. Long distance award goes to this gentleman right here.
Do we got any Alaskans up there?
You're from where? Mr. Tim Rominger, our competition director from California and everything. He's a great person to work for. Not. Anyway, so what else had a hand up over here? Where? I can't hear you, sorry. Michigan. Colorado. Evan, who you got?
The locals down here, Pete.
Okay, who else?
You know your Arizona locals love.
Come on,
South
put your
Dakota.
hand up if you're out of state. Nobody? Okay, go. Talk to me. Where? Are you serious?
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break since we are still lacking the cars. We'll get them out here. Again, this is an intermission, so this is an anticipated break. We already knew this was going to be here. We're going to take that break, and we'll be with you coming up next.